my why has become I want to show others that they can. Like whether that is as simple as the beauty and joys of being yourself, the power of being vulnerable, the ability to just do hard things. Like
Yeah.
I want people to be able to derive that when they come to my page.
Composting cotton and cornrows. Oh.
Welcome to the Compost Cotton and Cornrows podcast. And I'm your host, Dominique Drakeford. I'm sitting with Kevin, aka the Plant Papi, to discuss wellness, vulnerability, fatherhood, and why plants aren't just something that we care for. They're often telling us how we're actually doing. This one is about joy and honesty and showing up in your fullness. Let's get into it. Kev, welcome to the podcast. Kevin, aka Plant Papi. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. And to root our conversation today, I'd love to know how you define sustainability.
Mm.
Mm,
It's long story short, I would say the conservation of culture in many aspects.
mm. The conservation of culture.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You came with a heavy hitter. Now I'm gonna have to ask you to expound. What does that mean?
It's like it is a practice that I feel as though is a long historical aspects to it. But currently it's in this place of being trendy, which I feel like has happened with a lot of things within the world. Like things
Mhm,
that people have been doing for years have become trendy. Some might even say gentrified. And
mhm.
but when you think about it, these are things that people across cultures have done for generations, and
Absolutely.
some families pass it down while others don't. And I'm happy to say that it's not necessarily something that my family practiced growing up, but it's something that my family's practicing now,
Right, right, right,
and
right,
in
right.
hopes that future generations will as well. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I've been in the traditional sustainability space for like 15 years. Like I studied
Mhm.
it. And one of the things that I walk away with is that the epicenter of sustainability is culture. I feel
Mm.
like it gets positioned as, social or economic and all the things, but the center of that, the heart, the pulse of that is that it's rooted in culture and
Mhm.
specifically Black and brown indigenous cultures.
Oh.
And so I feel like that reframing has stuck with me. I had to learn what the mainstream discourse was to get to this point of wait a minute, wait a
Mhm.
minute. This is all about culture.
Yeah.
That's the essence of sustainability. So I love that definition and that grounding. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank
Yes. So please
you.
tell
Mhm.
me, where did this love of plants, and your background is beautiful, by the way. Where
Thank
did
you.
this love of plants stem from?
Oh,
Stem. I feel like
man.
I'm get all the corny mom auntie jokes. Where did it stem? Where was it rooted?
You started off with rooted too.
I swear that was not intentional. I like the mom jokes in me, but
Mhm.
but where did where did it stem from?
I bring out the corny in people somehow, but
I love it. I'm goofy though.
oh
People
yeah.
don't know that about me. I'm real goofy.
But no, for sure, I would say that I've always had an attraction to plants, but for the majority of my life, I was what I would consider like plant blind.
Mm,
Like we see them all the time, and for some people, I find it so interesting. Like now, I'm at the point in my life where, oh, like I appreciate almost every plant I see out in public. But I remember a time where I walk around the mall, see them everywhere. I'm like, it's whatever.
mm,
But definitely when I got my first apartment in grad school,
mm.
I was like, "Oh, I got my first place." I was like, let me get some plants." So I got a bonsai tree and a cactus.
You decided to get a plant.
Yeah, and I
Okay,
killed
okay.
them both expeditiously. Yeah, yeah, it was hard. And then when my wife and I moved in with each other before we got married, I was like, "Oh, we have this great sunroom. We need a big plant in here." So I got a huge majesty palm, and her dad gave me a pot because he's a big Japanese nerd. So he had like this fancy Japanese pot. I
Mhm.
killed that plant very quickly too.
Yep.
So it was the pandemic that got me here. It was a combination of I'm a therapist during the day when I'm not
Mhm.
doing plant stuff.
Mhm.
So being virtual with my clients, I was like, I need a background that's gonna be pretty cool.
Interesting.
So it started off with one plant, and that was because of prior conversation with my wife. I was like, in order for us to survive being in this house together,
Mm.
not knowing how long, we need hobbies that will occupy our time.
Yeah.
So she started gardening, and I was like, I'm gonna try my hand at actually keeping plants alive. So I started
Mm.
with one plant in the corner, and this is where we are 5 years later.
I love it. I love it. So needless to say, it started out aesthetically. It was
Yeah.
purely for the vibes.
Hmm.
When did it transition into this love and connection point for you? Or I'm
Mm.
assuming based off your content, I mean, this is my first time meeting you, but I'm feeling like there is a relationship that you've cultivated with plants beyond looking aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it definitely started off with like the aesthetic, and then it was recognizing how it was more than just how this plant looks. It's, taking time to understand like what a plant needs and being able to watch a plant grow in your space and recognizing that is the combination of providing the right resources that it needs and understanding that it's almost like you create this symbiotic relationship with your plant.
Mhm.
And I would say when I got COVID in 2020 is when I really started paying attention to like how the plants impacted my own mental health because I was sitting there on the couch looking at my plants, looking all sad because I didn't have the energy to take care of them. And I truly recognized like, wow, like I care about these things. Like
Mm.
I don't want to just see these things grow. I want to see them thrive.
Mm.
And it's just like so much to it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is that so I'm a gardener, right?
Mhm.
But I struggle with keeping houseplants alive. My
Mhm.
sister is opposite. She struggles with
Yep.
in the garden, but has a bunch of houseplants. Like you're experiencing a lot of houseplants inside as
Mhm.
well as wifey gardening. What is that
Yep.
relationship like?
I handle the inside, she handles the outside. Cause
Do
similar
you
to you
not
and
go in the garden? Can you guys
oh,
are you guys able to switch? Does your green thumb translate indoor and outdoor?
it's more of I assist her
Okay.
and I just handle everything inside because I'm like, Look,
And
like,
you better not fuck up them vegetables.
basically, yeah, yeah. But like, but yeah, it's like I think what it is that we all kind of figure out what we are good at and
Mm,
the habits that we form around it. So gardening is different in reference to indoor gardening, like vegetable gardening outdoors versus like ornamental indoor gardening.
mhm.
It's like the way you water is different. You
Mm,
water in here. Some people do it on schedule like I do. Other people they just wait for the plants to show them signs. But
mm.
outside you water almost every day.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
yeah.
See, I didn't need the correlation, I didn't even think about that.
And that's why so many people
Interesting.
screw their houseplants because they think their houseplants are like outside. They're like, well, I'm watering it every day.
Yeah,
You're drowning it.
yeah. Huh.
Versus out there, you miss one day when it's really hot outside. That plant is looking at you like SpongeBob, like water. Like,
Okay, so you mean to tell me the indoor babies don't get thirsty?
oh no, they
As
do,
thirsty as thirsty.
but it takes longer
Yeah.
because they're not getting that.
They're fruiting. I get the
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense because they're literally growing, fruits and vegetables. So
Mhm.
they consume a lot more water and need a different type of nourishment. I get that. That's so basic and just it didn't fully dawn on me. Mm,
Hey, it's really kind of like how it is. It's like just recognizing like the differences. Like me, the most I've done outside is I planted a magnolia tree in our backyard
nice.
and I left it alone. I'm like, if it dies, it dies. If it lives, it lives. But my thought process is the rain will handle it all.
Yeah.
And so far it
Nature.
has.
Nature did its thing, and it's still
Mhm.
alive.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure if I watered it more, it might flower and might look better, but
yeah.
I'm like, "You got it."
Uh, huh. Is there I wanna sort of pivot
Yeah.
to the the health and well-being that's associated with all of the plants that you're experiencing on a daily basis. Has it shifted? Has your mental health, physical health, any of that shifted since you became the Plant Papi?
Oh, so much. Oh,
Mm,
wow. Like, I would say at one point, especially like peak pandemic, taking care of plants was probably what I would have considered my main coping skill.
mm,
It was the time where I found myself to be the most grounded. I'd have some music playing, like watering day was my favorite day.
mm,
And then I think it's funny because my wife and we're both therapists, and we have this ongoing joke of like, if I worked somewhere after I left there, she started working there. So at the beginning of the pandemic, I was working for this practice that was essentially full of white women.
mhm,
I was the only man and the only black person working there.
mhm,
And they saw back when this was just fewer plants, they saw my plants and they were like, "Oh, Kevin, you have a lot of plants." When my wife started working for the company, they were like, "You need to go ahead and give that man a child because he is so nurturing."
interesting.
And me, I was
Huh,
like, "Wow." So
hmm,
the transition happened after we had our kid.
mm,
So it was like the plants became less of my coping space and it kind of they started feeling like something else to take care of. And that's a
mm,
big transition that I recognize I
interesting.
only have but so much space to nurture.
Yeah,
So one point I used to be, oh, if I see a plant, I love it, I'm gonna add it to the jungle. Now I'm
yeah,
chilling.
yeah,
What I got is what I got. And I don't stress out about if a plant dies. It's more
yeah,
it if anything, I feel like it's transitioned from being my main coping skill to being a representation of how I'm doing. So if I'm looking at a lot of my and I see that they are um just thirsty, if I see this yellow leaf right here, like
mhm,
it's letting me know that I'm not taking enough time to slow down. I'm probably spread a lot. So I still utilize it as my grounding space,
mhm,
just not as much as it used to be. Because within this past year, I've dealt with like a lot of grief with like losing family members.
mm,
Our dog, we had to put our dog down.
mm,
And then within the line of type of therapy I do now, a lot of my patients are unfortunately susceptible to dying. So I've lost like
mm,
a lot of like patients and the grief was like weighing on me. So the combination of that and I decided I needed to change my life this year. So I wanted to lose weight. I started working out, but I injured myself a whole bunch of times.
mm,
And I started walking and I recognize now that the walking kind of became my coping skills, like being outside in
interesting.
nature, just
Yeah.
listening to my music, walking around. And it's kind of like being in your own world, even though I'm walking around my neighborhood, but it just grounded me in my own thoughts, kind of like forcing me to be in the moment. And
Mm.
then I discovered running, and it's become a whole new level of that same thing. Like,
That's gangster. Running is
you,
gangster. Mm.
I, 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 I am part of the cult now.
Mm. Mm. Okay, so now I have to ask you because you are balancing or have had to balance a very mentally stimulating and demanding career,
Hmm.
right? You've had to maneuver through grief.
Hmm.
You have a a new child or new-ish
Yeah, it's
child.
gonna be 3 years.
But even if we go back to newborn stage rather, right? So this bubble of newborn, grief, career, um, and I feel like this is such a stereotypical question, but I have to ask you, and I love asking this specifically to Black men,
Hmm.
how do you really balance all
Mm.
of those things? And I don't want not the fake balance, like, how do you
Oh no,
how do you balance that? Because I
and I
have 2
feel that.
babies too,
Yeah.
and and I had my garden failed, like,
Mhm.
different challenges, like, what does that balancing act really look like and feel
Mm.
like?
It feels like constantly trying to maneuver what balance looks like in your life.
Mm,
Because what that balance looks like in January is different than what it looks like in September,
mhm,
same with November, et cetera, et cetera. So I recognize that it's kind of like putting certain things in the back burner and being able to focus on other aspects. So I know when my son was first born, I felt like I was struggling with my own identity, how I'm going to show up as a husband, how I'm showing up as a father, and I was overwhelmed. But the one good thing about me is this: because of what I do,
mhm,
and I'm constantly preaching to men to share and open up. I'm an open book myself. I practice what I call extreme vulnerability.
mm,
So I talk to my friends. I talk to other fathers I know, other husbands I know, and I'm like, not necessarily even asking for advice, but more just like needing a sounding board to
mm,
know I'm not alone. And it was been doing that. I recognize most dads, especially good dads and husbands, they feel that way. They feel like it's this constant battle of trying to figure out like, like, am I showing up for my partner the way I need to? Am I showing up for the kids? And then in that back burner is like, am I showing up for myself?
mhm.
So the
Dang, the
balancing
plants
act is
didn't
a
even
struggle.
get they don't get a "Are you showing up for the plants?" Did that even pop up?
Oh, the plants end up in the back burner all the time. Like, like I said, that yellow leaf, this one is
Right.
leaning right now. Like this one, oh my gosh! Like, I'm
Dang, plants become obsolete. I get it, I got
look, it's. I only have so much room to nurture.
Right, right. No, respect, 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 respect.
But that's what kind of I say. Like, I recognize that if my plants are looking like this, that means
Mhm,
I probably need to do something a little bit for myself.
mm,
That's kind of the symbolic nature I have with it now. But yeah, that the balance is really I don't even I would say it's balance in the aspect of one day I'm focusing on this, next day this, and very rarely am I ever able to be really good at all the
all
hats that I
things, yep.
wear. But you know what? I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. I mean, what you lifted up is super resonant. Everything every day is a new opportunity to define balance.
Mhm.
Um, and I love what you said that essentially your plants become a mirror, a reflection of how you're doing, a reflection of what needs to change,
Mhm.
a reflection of just, the ways in which you're taking up space and you get to look to your plant because at this stage it's more of maintenance, right? It's you're
Yeah.
you're out of the honeymoon phase with your plants and you're working on, maintaining so that they, remain strong and still
Yeah.
grow.
Yeah.
But you're out of that phase of just like wonder, I guess,
Mhm.
maybe?
It
Um
comes in waves. There are
Mhm,
times where, especially a lot of the plants I was looking for years ago
mhm,
that were super expensive, they are more affordable now and
mm,
more easier to maintain. And part of that just has to do with, the economy and like shoot, sneakers people couldn't get years ago, they sitting on shelves. It's happened with everything. So I still sometimes get that, ooh, like if I'm out.
yeah,
Yeah, like I just got this plant the other day. We went on a trip.
nice.
I don't know what it is. I think it's some type of rip salad or something, but it brought me joy in the moment. And I was like, you know what?
Yes,
You're coming home with me.
yes.
That's how it works
And
sometimes.
shout out to these little moments of joy,
Exactly.
especially as a parent.
Mhm.
Especially as a parent in the economy we're living in the matrix of the world we're living in,
Mhm.
we do not take those little moments of joy for granted. So you picking up that plant and saying, "Oh, I don't know what the hell you are, but you fly." I love that. I love that. Do you feel like you went on a journey of, I wouldn't say discovery, but a journey of sharing how Black men in particular can have these relationships with plants?
Yeah.
Like, what did that exploration and that connectivity is specifically with Black men look
Yeah.
like for you?
When I first started getting into plants and I first started posting on social media, I recognized there wasn't a lot of black men in the plant space. Like the most famous one is his name's Hilton Carter, you know.
Mm,
And I was like, Hilton is dope. Like I met him, I get to DM him now. Like we
yeah.
ain't friends or nothing like that, but I send him a DM and he'll respond.
Right, right.
But no, it's like it literally I would look up black men in plants and he was the only thing that popped up. And I was just like, it came to a point where I recognized I wanted to be the representation I was looking for.
Mm,
And because of what I do, I also recognize that I am not just a black man that's into plants. I'm a black man that's into overall wellness.
mhm,
I'm a
mhm.
quirky nerd. I'm a
Yeah,
sneakerhead. So I was like, I want to share all these aspects of me
right.
with people so it can be normalized.
Yes.
Because when people think of plants as a hobby, they're not really thinking of people that look like me. So I wanted to kind of help change that. And especially when I first started my page, like the amount of DMs I would get from guys, I was like, yo, man, like I haven't seen us.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's just like I'm a big proponent of representation matters. Like
yeah,
when Chadwick Boseman died, I was
mm,
falling out. Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, that was a
so
rough one.
kind of just letting people know that I wanted to be what I wanted to see.
Yeah,
So I remember my old bio used to say like, "I'm creating the content that I want," you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And I think what's beautiful is that you created what you wanted to see in the world, and you were able to be affirming for other folks. I mean, yes, Black men, but a lot of people, everybody,
Yeah.
right? And I think something that you lifted up is the bit about wellness and well-being. And all of this is an example, an expression,
Mhm.
a ritual of wellness.
Mhm.
And so and when I look at your videos, the joy you have, it's the joy, it's the accent, it's how you're teaching, it's just the unapologetic you-ness that comes out as an additional layer of well-being that I love. Can you explain a little bit more about the intersection of wellness,
Mhm.
education, and just unapologetically taking up space in the
Mm.
agricultural, because yes, plants, but
Mhm.
it's under the agricultural umbrella, I would say,
Mhm.
as
Oh yeah,
well.
it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day because I saw it was a video, some type of farming convention thing was going on, and it looked like high school students, and it was showing like students from different states. And I was just looking at it, I was like, the entire video, I was like, every student in this video is white, and then like one black kid popped up, and I was like, okay, we in there. And then, but nah, like particularly like in this space, like it's very important for me to show up as authentically me, because one thing I want to encourage people is to do that is just to be themselves. Because I feel like
Yeah.
when you are your most self, you find the people who want to be around you the most. Versus when you are this caricature of you,
Mhm.
you're attracting people that like that character. And
Yeah.
when you are this character, it creates this own sense of like anxiety and imposter that you feel like you have to keep up. Whereas if you're just being yourself, you know that the people that are in your circle are there for you and not what you are presenting. So in this space in particular is kind of recognizing that I feel as though over the years there are more and more people that look like us representing. However, sometimes I feel like it's few and far between because it's harder to see it some.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
And
and
there's
you
still a level of competition, right? There's still a
mhm,
level of, um, the system make sure that there's this competitive edge and making sure we put one at a time on a pedestal, despite the fact that we're out there and we've been doing all the things,
yeah.
right?
Mhm,
But the positionality and the optics of it
mhm,
sometimes still intentionally invisibilizes us, right? So
mhm,
yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Do you
mhm.
feel like the younger generation are receiving what you're saying? Not your peers, but the young folks, the Gen Z, the Gen Zers, the youngins. Do you feel like they're receptive to this, and learning from your videos and taking that knowledge into their own spaces?
I don't know if it is so much the Gen Z as is their parents. And I
Hmm,
say that because I
the
don't pay
Gen
attention
Z's
a lot
parents.
to
So the generation above us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like,
Oh, interesting.
Gen X, millennial, because I cannot when I granted, well, analytics will tell you the age of people,
Yeah.
but, like, a large portion of my following is between the ages of, like, 20 something and 50. And when I'm out and about, I can't tell you how many times I've had a grandma come approach me, someone tell me like, "Oh my gosh, me and my mom love watching your stuff." And I'm like,
Interesting.
and for the educational aspect, I do feel as though it's people learning or relearning or just reframing aspects that they've been taught.
Yeah.
Because I'll get DMs from people like, I've never thought about like this. Like, I know because my family's from Haiti, so
Mhm.
I've done videos surrounding the Haitian Revolution. I've done videos talking about how Haitians utilized plants to
Yeah.
win the revolution, and people are like, "I never learned that in school," and
Of
I'm
course
like,
not.
"There's a reason they don't want you to know that." But it's all of it, and it's I would say like even our peers teaching their children, because
Yeah.
I'm like I don't think the kids know me. I think it's the parents.
Really interesting. I'm
I
like
feel
a
like
little dumbfounded. Like I assumed it was a lot more younger folks. But now
look,
you saying 30s, 40s, 50s and hitting
yeah,
up grandmas. What?
look, because grandmas love plants.
They do. They do. They do. And I think it's affirming for them too. I think that there's memory in there, right?
Mhm,
And then a lot of grandmas never stop. So I think you may see a different spin. What they're experiencing is a new spin, a new take
mhm,
on what already existed in their DNA and in their practices. So
mhm.
I love that.
Yeah, because I'm
Hmm.
waiting for like a youngin to come up to me one day. Granted, I will say I've had a few teachers tell me
Mhm.
that they've shown some of my stuff to like their students.
Right, right.
And I'm like,
But
I
you
don't
don't
know.
got the young ones flocking like,
Yeah.
Imma turn this episode into a a TikTok dance. Look,
I'm trying
I can't
flip
even speak the
screen.
language. I'm
I think
trying.
that's the thing, like, they are in different spaces.
Yeah.
Like, I'm primarily on Instagram and Facebook. Man, my stuff will end up on TikTok half the time,
TikTok, yeah.
but I know, like, the kids, they are TikTok,
They are
Twitch.
TikTok.
So I feel like our peers, a little bit younger, a little bit older, like, that's the demographic that I've especially, like, a lot of young professional young professional parents. I don't know, I think after I had a
Mm,
kid, I just had like, "Oh,
all
he
the
has a kid
parents.
too now?" Like,
Mhm.
I
All
can't
the
tell you
parents.
how many people were pregnant around the same time my wife was, that if
Yeah.
I would make a video about it or talk about it, they DM me like, "Oh my gosh, it's not just me."
Well, we all know why so many of us were pregnant during the pandemic. We all know why. There's a lot of pandemic
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, that's funny, and I can 100% see the, I guess, second wave, so 2021, 2022, 2023, and folks having newborns, that makes
Oh,
so
yeah.
much sense that they would connect with you and
Mhm.
be inspired, and then want to also, make their home feel more like a home.
Yeah.
right? And want to breathe deeply, have fresh air, all the things. The
Mhm.
science, the health, the wellness, the aesthetics, like all the things that make sense.
Connected.
It's all connected. It's all connected. It's all connected. And a little bit you touched on the Haitian Revolution and just thinking about the history
Mhm.
of our connection to plants.
Mhm. Yeah.
Why is it important to you or for you to add historical relevancy to educational videos when you just sitting up here talking about plants?
'Cause, it's one for me. I tell people all the time that I feel like my content is all over the place. Like, there are times where I feel bad for people because I'm like, you might follow me for this one video, literally one video you saw in January, and then
Mhm.
you never make something like that again because
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
on my brain. And I think there are times where it started off with I started a series a couple years ago, which was focused on plants indigenous to Africa
Mhm.
because I was just on this wave of like, yo, like this plant is indigenous to Africa, but how did it get to Costa Rica? And then it was like, oh, the same way the people did.
Yep, the same way the
So
artifacts in the museums did.
mhm.
Right. Right, right,
And
right.
then it's like all these famous plants that you see that sparked, like just modernistic design.
Mm.
And like indigenous to Africa, but they became popular in Europe. Meanwhile, someone in South Africa is like, oh, my grandma had those in her backyard. Like, and it was kind of like going from there, like finding out where these plants were indigenous to then thinking about how our people have utilized plants not just as aesthetically pleasing, but
Yeah.
as medicine. You know,
Mhm.
they used it in the Haitian Revolution as a weapon. Like,
Mhm.
and part of that started with recognizing how in colonial times they used plants on slaves, which is why I don't rock with the plant Dieffenbachia. But
What now?
Dieffenbachia, also known as dumb cane. Yeah, you've probably seen the plant before, but
Probably. Now Imma look
yeah,
it up. Okay.
yeah. But and I'm not gonna lie, cause like once you see that plant, so for me, my own personal story with the plant is my grandma had them growing up. My
Mm.
neighbor, before she and her son were moving away, she was giving away her plants, and she had some huge ones, and I took them, but something always felt off about them.
Mm.
And one day when they had a yard sale, as they were selling their house, I saw a red hat with letters on it. And I was like, oh. And then I learned the history of the plant. And I was really like, oh. So they would utilize the plant, the sap of the plant would they would say would render someone dumb. But really what it is like it would prevent them from being able to talk. Like it would swell up the tongue. And yep. So after that I was like, my kid using it. And I was like, into the trash you go, because I don't need this energy. But it's kind of understanding how plants have been used in multiple aspects in our lives, in our ancestors' lives, not just
Mhm.
like medicine, but food. And I was just like, I wonder if other people know this.
Yeah.
So I started doing more educational things surrounding that, and people really gravitated toward it. And I was like, this is cool. And every now and then when I feel like it, I do it again. Like, I remember I
Mm.
had a series about weird facts about houseplants because there's some weird facts about them.
Yeah. I bet.
Mhm.
I bet that there is so many interesting facts as it relates to plants and history and economy and all the things. Policy, politics. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Excuse me.
You're good.
Oh, dang, I was flowing too. I love just organic conversation. I love organic
Oh, yeah.
conversations. Meanwhile, my daughter is sitting up here yelling, talking about her dress, and it is nap time for her. But how old's your little one?
He'll be 3 in January.
Okay, okay. Ooh, yes, 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 yes.
It's like how to talk.
All of it.
What
Oh, fun
are you
times.
saying?
Fun times. Fun times. How is he adapting to plants? I mean, he grew up with
Oh,
plants everywhere, but
when I
was he
tell you,
pulling on them or was he
yo,
gentle?
he's gentle
Okay.
for the most part. If we're outside, if he sees a fruit that he wants, he gonna grab it. Like,
Mm,
so if we had like little strawberries in the garden, he was just like, "Yep, mine, eat." Yeah,
mm.
but yeah, like I try to tell people, I joke around. You ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I did not.
No worries. Well, just break it down. Basically, people grow up in four nations based on the elements. So, earth, fire, air,
Oh, it's
water.
after the cartoon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always joke around and tell people that Geo is an earthbender because this kid loves
Yo.
Earth.
Mm,
Like, we take him to the beach. You think he loves going to the beach. You would think it would be for the water. No, he likes to sit in the sand and play with the sand. We take him to the park. You think he wants to go on the slides? Like, he will. But
yeah.
he's gonna find a little patch of dirt and just start
Mm.
playing with it. Like,
Okay,
you
little
get there, you just
earthling.
feel exactly. Give
Little
him
earthling.
all day.
Is he a earth sign?
I don't think so. He's a Aquarius, I think.
Oh,
I don't know. He's a cusp.
okay.
It's funny because
I'm acting like I know everything about astrology. I don't know what sign
same
I don't
here.
know.
I just know I'm a Virgo. The wife is
Yes.
Aries.
Yes, yes.
I know I'm a
I
Earth sign.
right. I'm fire. I'm a Leo, so
There you go.
right. It's like I only know the folks who are in my immediate orbit. So when I ask,
Exactly.
people are they're ready for me to give a response that's
And
very astrologically sound, and I don't have that.
no, I'm
But
right
I
there
like
with
to
you.
ask.
I
You
love
said what?
asking. Yeah, I'm right there. I love asking what people's signs are, but when they
Right.
respond, I'm like, oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. So what is the future of the Plant Papi?
you know, I tell people all the time, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm just having fun.
Yes.
The future just looks like continuing what I've been doing. It's I try to tell people that I'll never go away from plants. No.
Yeah.
But I want to explore everything, which
Mm.
is kind of like why I say that in my bio it says, you come for the plants, but you stay for the vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You might laugh, you might learn, you might cry. And that was after me doing some soul searching of like, what do I want? And I recognize that's what I want to happen. I want to be able to teach people things about their mental health.
Mm.
But I also want them to learn about random quirky things I enjoy.
Yeah.
I want people to be able to look at my page and smile if they're having like a hard day.
Yeah.
I want people to cry in a good way. Like I just ran a half marathon. And when I tell you, I posted up a
Congrats.
video about it because I
Mhm.
also kind of correlated it with my weight loss in this year.
Mm.
And the comments were overwhelming to me because people were like, oh my gosh, why am I crying? People were like, this is inspiring. And I feel like that's kind of like my why. Years ago, I met with my mentor's mentor, and she asked me what my why is. And I said, oh, well, my why is because I can. And then
Mm.
she basically looked at me and said, that's bull. No, it's not. Think again.
Mm.
And I was like, how you going to tell me what my why is? You asked me that question. But as I reflected on that question over the years, I recognized my why has become I want to show others that they can.
Mm.
Like, whether that is as simple as the beauty and joys of being yourself, the power of being vulnerable, the ability to just do hard things. Like,
Yeah.
I want people to be able to derive that when they come to my page. So I feel as though some people come to it and they just want to laugh at us. There's other people that want to come, they just want to learn. And there's some people that just rock with me heavy that they just love what I do.
Yeah.
So I think the future of it is me taking this stuff out of just the social media realm and doing it in person. I think one day I would love to do a TED Talk. I
Yes.
would doing podcasts like this. Like
Yeah.
I just want to be able to share so that people can learn that they could do things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a special place in the universe for people who aren't following a specific formula. You know, we live in a world where content has to be very rigid. Like you have to have
Mhm.
a niche focus, and that niche focus has to be, you know, have all of
Mhm.
these very specific components.
Mhm.
And I think it is so beautiful for folks who can just vibe with what they're vibing with,
Yep.
right? And storytell around the things that make them happy and whole and the challenges and just be a catalyst for stories.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that, and I feel like it's a little on the rare side these days, and even when I'm thinking about my podcast,
Mhm.
so many sustainability podcasts specifically have a very niche focus,
Yeah.
right? Or there's a very niche demographic. Like, yes, this is for Black and Afro Indigenous folks. But aside from that, it's like I can speak to folks in the Congo, and I'm speaking to folks in London, and I'm speaking to elders, and I'm speaking to the young folks, and I'm speaking to folks across disciplines. I think that there is such a beauty to be able to storytell and create space where we can connect the dots and see that not everything is siloed. We can
Mhm.
have these woven, um, intricate conversations and build a tapestry that just feels good, that doesn't have to be this rigid equation. And so I
Mhm.
love that about you. I'm
Thank you.
like, we floating in the same orbit.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love it. And then I guess my last question, and this is a very serious one. What
Okay.
is your favorite plant?
Man, when I tell you, I feel like that changes all the
Does
time.
it now?
Yeah, because my favorite, I think I have an old favorite. So I have two tatted on me.
Mm,
This is a pothos, and this is a ZZ Raven. All right,
yes, ZZs.
and I love the ZZ so much because it was the first plant that I learned. Well, the ZZ Raven was the first plant that I learned could be quote unquote like rare at the time because it was
Mhm,
hard to find, very expensive to get. And I was like, and I was a sneaker. Well, I still am a sneakerhead, but back then I was like, wait a minute, people are paying buku money for a plant, a cutting of a plant, a leaf. Someone's paying $100 for a leaf.
mm,
It was that, and then learning that the ZZ plant originates in Africa.
mhm,
And
yep,
I was like, "Oh!"
yep,
It's always gonna hold a special place in my heart and my arm.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But ultimately, like, I do think pothos are probably one of my favorite plants, like, because it was my first plant,
Mm,
and whenever someone has, like, a new place and I wanna get them a plant and they're not, like, that familiar with them, I wanna gift them one of those because I feel like they are the most forgiving
mm,
houseplant. Like, they're the most forgiving and the most communicative. Like,
mm,
if they brown, they're letting you know it's getting too much sun. You
mm,
if they yellow, it's too much water. Like, if the leaves are wilting, it needs to be watered. So it's kind
mm.
of like I love the fact that it's a great communicator, and I feel as though for anyone that is looking to get into houseplants, that that's a great place to start.
Yeah. If you can gift your son a plant when he turns 18, what would it be?
Ooh, yeah, because he want to take care of himself. Because I
Mhm.
definitely go plant shopping, but
Mhm.
it would depend on his personality
Okay,
at the time
okay.
when
Good
he's
answer. That's a good answer.
yeah. I would say, let's say he's going off to college or whatever he decides to do,
Mhm.
and I just want him to have like a plant to represent like this new journey for him.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. Let me look.
Not the plant wall. Not the turn to the plant wall. I
Yeah,
love
just
it.
there's so many. Actually, it's let me go grab it real quick. So one of these plants right here.
Mm.
This is
Oh, what is that?
a Sansevieria whalefin,
Okay.
and normally when you get this plant, you just get like one leaf.
Right.
Well, it's very much you leave it alone and it'll eventually
Mm. I
like
need that.
grow like another leaf. Like people tend to just keep it just one. But what I like about it is like it's a slow grower. and if you take care of it well, it'll give you a baby, and then you get to see the baby in the same pot.
Oh,
So I feel like,
okay.
yeah. So you see, I'm kind of going with
Yeah,
it. So
I
I feel
see.
like,
I see where you going with that.
because it's like I want him to be able to have a plant that he could see the growth happen.
Mhm.
But also, if not this, I'd probably say like a monstera because I feel like monsteras are one of the most gratifying plants to watch grow.
If you
Espe-
get to if you get
Yeah,
to that point, but
wait,
yes, they are
right.
beautiful.
I ain't gonna get him one of the small ones without. I'm gonna get him one that already has splits in it, or I might.
Yeah, yeah,
Matter
yeah,
of
yeah.
fact, knowing him, I'll probably just give him a cutting of one of his favorite
Mm.
plants that he
Okay.
sees
I
in the
like
house,
that.
and I'm like, take this with you. I'm gonna just put it in water, and I'm like, we'll see how it does in your time alone.
I
That's
like
that's
that.
gonna be more realistically what is gonna happen. Like,
Okay. I'm a holler back at you in 15 years and we're gonna see what you end up giving.
oh man.
No, but Kev, it's been real. I've had a really good time chatting with you. And you're just obviously, you know this, full of life, full of so much love and inspiration, and you just bring so much joy and seasoning to the plant space. So I
I see what you did there. You been hitting these plugs today.
no, but for real, thank you. And I can't wait to just continue to watch you flow in whatever direction you go in and support from afar and love, love, love on the family. But before we wrap up, this season I'm doing a sustainability soundtrack. So I'm
Okay.
asking folks very quick, rapid fire questions to build out a sustainability soundtrack. Let me know when you're ready.
I think I have no choice.
Look, if you a father, you know the right answer is you never ready.
hmm
Okay. What song is bringing you joy?
Ooh, Waves by Tame Impala and Miguel. It's a remix.
Okay. Okay. What song helps you heal when life feels really hard?
Man, I need to pull out my Spotify.
Ah, that's okay. You can do that.
Wait, you said what song? What?
What song um aids in your healing practice, if you will,
Mm.
when things get really hard?
I'm gonna go to my on repeat.
Mm.
So it's called Another Night by Real McCoy. It
Okay.
is a 90s dance song.
Okay.
And I love 90s dance house music because, I call it black lady music because growing up, when my dad and I would go to the barber shop, he only listened to two things. We either listened to like the post 90s dance music
Mhm.
or we listened to 1010 News. And
Mm.
I hated 1010 News. Like, it's a thing in New York. I was like, oh my gosh, these old white guys talking. Or dun, 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 dun.
Okay. I'm here for the night.
Another Night is the song I think of when it comes to 90s dance.
Okay. Okay. 90s dance music. Another night, right?
By the
Okay.
Real McCoy.
All right. Writing it all down. Well, it's being recorded, obviously.
Oh
But
yeah.
what song sounds like sustainability?
What is that song? I think it's like Morning Sunrise by, hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Morning Sunrise by Weldon Irvine. Or Praise John in the Moonlight. Oh man.
Okay, I'll put both of those down. I'll put both of those down. For some reason, I thought you were gonna go in a direction of like Air Force Ones, cause since you a sneakerhead, I don't know where I was going with it, but I was like, is it gonna be something connected to shoes? I don't Okay, we got a good list. We got a good list. Well, thank you so much for your time and energy, and tell the people how they can follow you and stay connected with your journey.
Oh, you can find me on your platform of choice at the Plant Papi, ThePlantPapr.
I
Because
know
a lot
that's
of
right.
people think it's Poppy like Poppy for some reason. I don't know.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
In
I was
what
a Bad
culture?
Bunny fan and I was like Bad Bunny, Plant Poppy, but some already took Plant Poppy. So I have,
Mm.
but now I just feel like an HBCU because I'm the Plant Poppy.
The Plant Papi. You need
Mhm.
the article in the front.
Exactly. To the point now where if you Google Plant Poppy, half the time I come up, which is wild to me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That is crazy. Hey, look, you put in the work. Let it be known.
Mhm.
Come on, Plant Papi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all, and that's a wrap. If this conversation moved you, share it with someone who needs permission to grow out loud. See you next time.
Composting cotton and cornrows.
We've turned nothing to gold since the birth of our soul. It's ingrained in our room. Black is more than flesh and bone, planted deep in our code, and we bear the fruit. Yeah, they wonder how our stride's so bold, and our pride stone cold after all we've been through. Rich as the texture of our crown.